as I stand in front of you and before you, honorable members of the National Assembly of Pakistan, each of you who have been elected to this house, each of you who have equal representation to me in terms of the numbers that you represent in your constituency, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your very generous and for your very sincere support in not only electing me to continue as the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, but in all the support you have given me. Before the National Assembly was convened, during these recent elections, and before these elections, when some of you, quite a number of you, were members of this house. I am most happy to renew our union and our association with those honorable members who were members of the previous assembly, who took part in the outstanding and historic task of framing the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and who rendered many other yeoman services to the country. I would also like to assure the new members, the members who have been elected to the present house, that from my side, both as Prime Minister and as the Chairman of the party, I will give them my fullest and sincerest cooperation, and that inshallah ta'ala we will work together unitedly for the good of our people and for the good of our country. Mr. President and Mr. Speaker, sir, I do not want to impose on your time. And when I say that I do not want to impose on your time, I do not use these words in the narrowest sense. When I say this, I sincerely mean that at no stage would I like to impose myself on the people of Pakistan. At no stage would I like to inflict myself on the people against their wishes and against their choice. By training, by education, and by the career that I have chosen, I firmly believe in the supremacy of the people. I firmly believe in the supremacy of their will. For me, there is only one road and only one path. This I made abundantly clear when I spoke to the nation on the television and radio on the 8th of this month. Sometimes politicians or people in public life might suffer under the illusion that there is more than one road for those who dedicate their services to the cause of the people. But in reality and in truth, there is no alternative but to stand committed to the people, to stand involved with the people, to be fully associated with them, and if at any stage a process of alienation, temporary or otherwise, sets in, it is best to bow to the will of the people. For these reasons, we held elections in Pakistan. These were, in a sense, our first elections. There were elections before in undivided India. There were the famous elections of 1945 and 1946, which brought about the creation of our beloved country. But those elections were also held under a foreign umbrella. Those elections were not the elections of a free, independent, and a sovereign country. They were, in a sense, supervised elections. However, after those elections, when we became free, when we gained our independence, we did not hold any general elections in Pakistan. There were provincial elections. There were elections held in a number of provinces, except in the province of Balochistan, which was not given the status of a province in those days, and which did not become a province until the present constitution was promulgated. I do not want to take up your good time and your precious time on those elections and on those past events. Afterwards, as time rolled on, in 1962, we held elections which were not based on adult franchise. Those elections came under a scheme called the Basic Democracies, wherein 80,000 people, 80,000 members of the Basic Democracies, 40,000 from what is now Pakistan and then West Pakistan, and 40,000 from East Pakistan and now what is Bangladesh, had to choose not only their president, because we operated under a presidential system at that time, but they had to choose members of the National Assembly, and they had to choose members of the Provincial Assembly.